I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas.
Hello everyone, Uncle Charles Walhingford back again with another, well, this is the follow-up video to the Carriage Before the Horse video dealing with watches and watch collecting and the Rolex situation. Now here is, I got a couple things I want to say, and first of all, thank you for all the comments. Every comment matters, and the comments that I disagree with, we're going to address them, but thank you for leaving your comment, and I'm going to try my best to be respectful for the fact that you actually contributed. So thank you, and it makes a difference. So I'm gonna try my best to be respectful. Some of the things I have to say isn't going to sound too nice, but there's no other way to explain it. Like I said, I'm gonna try my best. So before we get started, I want to give you some background, all right, on my friend. The whole thing was my friend, and what I was trying to put out and have everybody understand is, I am not holding my friend to my standard per se. He's my friend, so we have to have a lot of things in common. However, I'm holding him to his standard. I'm just holding him to his standard. When I deal with friends and family and everything else, work, I'm holding people to their standard. Like, I don't go to McDonald's, and if they get my order wrong, I don't get mad and complain. I'm at McDonald's. I know where the fuck I'm at. All right. So I can't get too mad if I know where I'm at, who I'm dealing with, and everything else. So my friend, let me give you a little bit of background on him. I don't want to give too much because, I'm leaving his name out of it. Not to say he's that famous. He's not a famous person. But let me get to this. Like, my friend was or is a graduate of an Ivy League university. For those of you who don't know, it is not just simply another school. It is not just simply another school that costs more money, that maybe had rich kids or whatever. It's not. It is not. You have to understand, when you go to an Ivy League school, you're not going there just to be one day a regional manager at a chain, all right, at a corporation. You are going to leave your mark on the world. That's what a Ivy League person who goes to Ivy League is attempting to do. And you don't leave your mark just with you. And that's my whole thing. My whole thing is, my friend has not dedicated enough time to the whole picture, and the rest of the picture is a family. The rest of the picture is a family. He has not been dedicating enough time and effort for the whole picture. What the hell? All right. Here's another thing. He watched the video. Now, here's the thing. Let me see here. I'm going to go over a conversation. Okay, so here's the thing. One of the first things, he literally said, the first thing is, that's the first thing he commented on. My stonework, my rock work behind me. The whole video, he watched the whole video. This is what he wanted to comment on. Now, what do I take out of that? I take out of that, he's a practical person. Because this is about a home. This is about the complete home. This is about, like, this was boring stuff. And the other thing is, the next thing he talked about was the name of the video. Because for some reason, I couldn't figure out why it wasn't rolling off my tongue. I kept saying it, it just doesn't sound right, because the saying is wrong. It's not carriage, it's cart. It's the cart before the horse. Let's see if anything else. but he said he was going to get himself a will eventually. Well, that's kind of what I want him to think. If all in all, bottom line is he's accumulated some really nice things, and when you accumulate these nice things, it's crazy to allow the government who doesn't love you, who doesn't know you, who isn't going to do the right thing, already hasn't done the right thing for you, to get your stuff. That's all I'm really getting at. And it's a shame that that would happen to anybody. All right, guys, let's go ahead with the actual comments. All right, before I get started with it's Eric at Eric CP1139. Again, thank you, Eric, for your contribution. I don't want to be so aggressive for what I want to say, but we have feminized this country, and Eric, I think you have, not by your own fault, you took on some of these feminine aspects of life, and men can't think like that. Men can't think the way you thought in this comment section, because see, here's the thing: men have rules. Men have rules we adhere to. A lot of them are unwritten. I don't know how many times you've been in a fight, but all the fights I've been in, I never had to worry about a man kicking me in the balls. I've never had to worry about that. Many fights I've been in, it's never even a thought. It just wasn't going to happen. There's a lot of things like that. It's just some things we just don't do or we will do because we're men. You know, it's man law, man rule. It's just things we will not do or we have to do. And one of the things that reason why women can think like that is because when a woman is pretty enough, when she's young enough, she can make mistakes. She can be impractical. She can do all kinds of things that we know we're not supposed to do. But some man will always be there to come and dust them off and let her hit the reset button and try again. That's it. And then also, if you know anything about women and what we find is beautiful in women, or women's style and everything else, impractical dress is all women do. The more impractical her dress is, either that dress is tight and she can barely walk, or that dress is super long and she can barely walk. That's very feminine. It's very feminine to do that, but it's terribly impractical. A man can't do that. And so what he has to say, I can't agree or understand, because that's completely unmanly to think this way. So this is what he wrote. All right. He said, a hobby is for your own personal enjoyment. If that Rolex is what you want, I believe he said what you want, then you get it for you. Whether or not kids get it after you die should be a distant second thought. This is what's wrong with this country. This is so fucking selfish. I'm sorry, it's selfish. That's not what a man does. A man is a leader. Okay? Let's start there. A man is a leader. That's when you look at a man, he's like, yes, I want him to tell me what to do. I want him to be in charge. And hey, when you wear that watch, you're setting a tone. My friend said it. He said he wants people to look at his watch and see that he is successful. He wants people to know that they can trust him. He's a financial planner. They can trust him with their money. If you're just thinking about yourself, you shouldn't be my financial planner. If you're a financial planner, you can't think like this. However, let me go into a little bit differently, take a different take on that. All hobbies are not created equal, guys. This is $20,000, okay? This is $20,000, and it's not just $20,000. Like I said, this is a Rolex Submariner, a iconic item. It's iconic. It's not the same as some other hobbies that, for example, I have poison dart frogs. No one's going to really think higher of me because I have these poison dart frogs. These poison dart frogs don't have a resale value, okay? It's somewhat impractical. It's just for me. But this particular hobby can be, especially if you buy this way, can be more than just an hobby. It is more than just a hobby. So I can't just go with it's your hobby. Do what you want. This ain't stamp collecting, guys. And I mean stamp collecting today, because stamp collecting is crap today. 30 years ago, stamp collecting was something special. Today, it's not. It's absolutely not. I wish it was. I didn't stamp collect, but I had baseball cards and stuff. It's nothing like I thought it was going to be. All right, anyway, that's a slight tangent. All right, $20,000 plus. Here's another thing. He's watched the video and I was saying $20,000. He didn't correct me. That tells me something. He didn't correct me. So that watch was more than $20,000, boys. That watch was more than $20,000. Easy. Easy. But I didn't want to overstate it, but he did not correct me. So this is not just a hobby, and this is the same thought process that people who make it big out of nowhere, your rappers, your athletes, your young athletes that just got drafted, the lottery winners, a lot of them lose it all. A lot of them lose it all. A lot of them go broke. And then again, like I said before, getting something because you just want to, that's super feminine. Women are notorious for being bad with money. Women have the most amount of credit card debt in this country, in the United States. Doesn't surprise me because they buy stuff impractically. All right, let's go to the second comment. At BLM, BL don't, I guess don't M. I find this funny because I can't stand Black Lives Matter. So I hope this is what it is. If I were your buddy in this video, I told you I won't care because I'll be dead. It's just stuff to enjoy. The little time I have on this spinning rock, unless you're exceptionally accomplished, you'll be completely forgotten about only a few decades after passing away. Okay, again, I don't want to be too repetitive, but that destroys his whole job. How can you work at a job like this, being a financial planner, and if you believe that? The whole premise of a financial planner is you're selling somebody on the fact that, hey, watch my money for the what? The future. And if you are a good financial planner, if you're worth anything, you have to make sure that your client has enough money it's going to be excess. And you are not going to do this if you're the kind of person who has a financial planner. You're not going to just, okay, here's extra money, I don't care. That goes against everything a person who wants a financial planner will do. And I'm a financial planner, I care about the future. And if you don't care about the future, you shouldn't be a financial planner. However, what I would argue is if I'm looking at that financial planner's wrist, I'm also going to look at his hand. And I'm going to wonder, like, hey, you have kids? No, I don't have kids. Huh. So you don't care about the future? That's how I would feel. I wouldn't trust a financial planner that wasn't married. That's right. Or at least been married. Well, at least has kids. Not married, no kids? I don't care what kind of watch he's wearing. He's a little bit too wild with his money. Or my money, I should say. Now, here's the thing. This is, I believe, an example of how our educational system has failed us. All right. I think that one of the problems that we don't teach economics at all in schools anymore. And financial planning is 100% about the future. And if you knew anything about economics, you care about the future. That's how you can predict the future. But at the very crux of it all, the fact that we don't understand, we're keeping people ignorant on how money is made and how money is possible, it bothers me greatly. And I think that's possibly what took place with BL Don't M. All right, guys. Now this is what I want to say also. He was a recipient of inheritance. He was himself a recipient of inheritance, and it wasn't a little bit of money. It was a good amount of money. It's probably what helped get him that watch, or he felt that he was in a good state to get that watch. But that is to me a slap in the face of the person who got him that inheritance or gave him that inheritance. Meaning he doesn't have a family. He's not thinking more aggressively about having a family because he's not a young man either. He's getting up in age, and so that window. And I don't want to make this video too long, but that window of being a good parent is going to close. Being good parents takes a lot of energy, and you need some serious energy. I plan on doing another video about this. I kind of talked about this in a previous video, but young people are the ones who need to have infants. Old people should not be dealing with infants. No, 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 no. You can't be 45 or something with an infant. It is, and be a regular person. It is horrible already being 20 or 30. Being in your 40s, oh no. And so what I'm saying is he needs to be more aggressive to being a father, being a husband, and everything else, instead of worrying about another watch. Yes, another watch. This is not his first, second, third, fourth nice watch. Now this watch is more recognizable than his other watches, because his other watches, like I said, I know him from the watch world. I've seen his other watches, beautiful watches, Blancpain, IWC, Grand Seiko. He has some beautiful watches already. Blancpain, beautiful watches. You know, expand, be balanced, as I talked about in my other video that was very similar with the fragrance community, with buying fragrances, buying too many. Be balanced. I was talking to him about the video when I was talking to him afterwards, and he doesn't have a nice suit. He at $20,000 plus, you should have a fitted suit. You should have a suit, a tailored suit. You should probably most likely have a bespoke suit if you have a $20,000 watch. So if you don't have a nice suit, you're probably not wearing nice shoes. Probably have walking around with maybe $100 shoes, maybe. But you're off balance. He's off balance. And again, if you're practical like I said he was, you have a practical job about the future, taking care of people's money. You cared about practical things about the structure of my house. Why aren't you finish being practical? Have somebody to share your wealth with. Have somebody share your accomplishments with. And here's the last thing I'm going to end with, guys. For those of you who've ever eaten at a restaurant, a sit-down restaurant by yourself, it can get pretty lonely. And you know what makes that restaurant makes it worse? You know how you can make that even worse? A nice restaurant. The nicer the restaurant, the worse you will feel eating by yourself. Oh yeah, the nicer the restaurant, the worse you will feel eating by yourself. So, what are you thinking? What am I getting at? When you have all these nice things, you're gonna still feel empty if you're incomplete. You're gonna still feel empty, incomplete, even if you are achieving some wonderful goals. But you're achieving these wonderful goals all by yourself. Human beings aren't like that, guys. Human beings are community animals. We're animals. We're community animals. And if we are alone, it will beat you up. It will depress you. It will make you feel bad. And what is it all worth if you're not being able to really truly enjoy it? I just want people to be happy. I want my friend to be happy. That's it. I want you to be happy. All right, guys, that's it. That's the video. I'm Uncle Charles Walhingford. I'm just trying to help.